Welcome back to another episode of The Sneaker Hunter. I am Young Goob to God. Thank you for coming through and chopping it up for a few minutes as we talk about the sneaker game. We're premiering a new show today, The Game, where we talk about sneaker releases, sneaker news, and all the craziness that's been going on since I've gotten back into this game. Now, for those of you who are just visiting the channel or is your first time here, thank you for coming through. I am what some people may refer to as an OG sneakerhead. I've been doing this since about 1995. From 2000 to 2005, I made a concerted effort to pretty much copy everything that Jordan released. And then as I got older, started to kind of stray away from the game and ended up taking about a 15-year hiatus from actually copping sneakers on a regular basis.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But now I'm back. And as I come back, I see the game has gotten crazy. And when I say crazy, this thing is crazy. So we're going to be chopping it up about what's coming out, what's going on, and dropping some game on these people so you don't get caught up in this foolishness that's going on. So hit that subscribe button if you want to stay informed about what's going on, and the like button if you like what you see on today's episode of The Game. I am Young Goob to God. Let's go ahead and get started. First, let's talk some sneaker news. Now, recently, LeBron James appeared in the Phoenix Suns game with a very special pair of PEs, one that are near and dear to my heart, that have a sentimental. He came out with the FAMU edition of the LeBron 18s. Now, me being a FAMU grad, this hits special for the kid. You know what I'm saying? I even had my opportunities back in the day to actually hoop for FAM, but being immature, not really being able to project out my future, I chose to do other things. But LeBron coming out and stunting, doing the HBCU portion of gearing up for the HBCU portion of the All-Star Weekend, premiered the FAMU LeBron 18s. We're gonna throw up a picture, take a look at those joints. Now, what really makes this shoe dope to me is the fact that he collabed with my particular alumni school, FAMU. And more importantly, with the whole HBCU movement that we have going on. I, as a former hooper, really feel like if we, as a culture of black people, wanted to start to take back some of our power from other entities, college basketball would be an excellent place to begin, especially in the sports realm. See, if you're a high-level basketball player, you're going to go, or if you're going to go to the league, let's say, if you go into the league, it doesn't matter what school you go to. You can go and just hang out for 6 months or whatever school that you at, and then go to the league. If you go to Duke, then you're just going to give Duke a little bit more of the prestige that Duke already gets. But if you go to a school like FAMU, then you're going to start to bring attention to schools like FAMU who didn't get this attention prior, and now you are going to draw other players to this same situation. So starting with LeBron in this shoe, promoting FAMU, promoting HBCUs, I feel is going to begin the process of drawing eyes towards HBCUs, particularly by high-level and highly recruited athletes. If these highly recruited athletes begin to take their talents to these HBCUs for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then they start to change the tides of what we see televised on TV. Who starts to control the dollars of this game? Yeah, it's going to be a dirty game. NCAA is dirty. You know what I'm saying? It's the fraud of amateurity. Amateur, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Let's take control of that fraud narrative as much as we can and try and start to put some of that righteousness on it. Start to let it work in our favor. It could all start with a shoe. It could all start with a simple shoe with a dope design that's going to start to draw people and pull eyes towards the situation so that other people can start to see that, hey, I could take my talents here and still get where I'm going, and start to change the tides of the water. Maybe we no longer looking at UNC colorways in the future. We looking at FAMU colorways. You know what I'm saying? What if LeBron starts to sponsor FAMU? That alone, like they become a FAMU school. They wear LeBron everything, King James shit. That is going to start drawing athletes to these schools. Chris Paul can do the same thing with the school in North Carolina. I think it's Salem that he's affiliated with, Winston-Salem. So let's start to take advantage of this opportunity that we have to build the brands of our HBCUs, to build the brands of our players under our own control, and not just let the normal entities have them. If we gonna get taken advantage of, let us have a lot more power to do the taking advantage of our own versus being taken advantage of by other people. Because we know the NCAA dirty. It's dirty. It is what it is. But I'd rather put the dirt on somebody than somebody just throwing the dirt on me. That's just my, you know what I'm saying, my opinion. I can control. I'd rather have a little bit more control over the dirt than just getting dirt thrown on me. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just a little game from the OG. All right, our next bit of news we're going to talk about today is the whole Nike VP stepping down, Miss Ann Hebert, and her relationship with West Coast Streetwear and her son, West Coast Joe, chasing clout, aka flossing when flossing season been over. Now, by now, we've all heard the stories. We know pretty much what went down, but if you haven't heard, Ann Hebert, or Hebert, it was a VP of Nike North America. Her son, Joe Hebert, or West Coast Joe, started West Coast Streetwear, a resale company that was mainly getting shoes from Nike warehouse stores or outlet stores and using his family and friends discount in order to get the shoes at a heavily discounted price, and then reselling these shoes on the resale market. And then once that started bumping up, really started botting heavy. I actually found out about botting from this kid when I got back in the game. I was trying to cop shoes and I was seeing that it was very difficult, and I learned about bots and him cooking and all of this stuff. But nonetheless, West Coast Joe did an article with Bloomberg and decided to spill the beans on what was going on, like his whole operations. He told everything. He gave them receipts that had cards and names on them that, of course, any good investigator went back and, or good journalist would go back into research and found out his connection with Nike. Ended up putting out the article. She stepped down. We find out, we think he's the purpose or he's the reason that we catching L's, when he's not the only reason we're catching L's. It's a lot of things going into play, and I'm about to put you up on game just a little bit about what's going on if you don't know. Now, this resale market that I'm truly new to. I'm not a reseller. I do not resell. I do not buy resale, but I have to deal with resale because it's a part of this game. Now, in my little bit of research that I've done in the few months that I've been back in this game, I found out that it is not just people like West Coast Joe and other people playing the resale game. It is the major players who have been classic retailers who are now playing the resale game. Number one example, Foot Locker. Foot Locker invested $100 million back in 2018, I believe it was. Invested $100 million into GOAT, the resale app that we all know is one of the platforms that allows this thing to go up and down, you know, a lot of prices to be so crazy. Now, if Foot Locker is investing $100 million into a resale company, and they are a retail company, it seems to be kind of a conflict of interest because they want to sell their pairs and GOAT wants to sell their pairs. And if you're just looking from the top level on a superficial level or a very uninformed level, you might see that don't make much sense to you. But when you think about it like a reseller or just a business, Foot Locker has an account with Nike. They receive X amount of shoes every release. They can take and do with those shoes as they please as long as they don't violate any parts of the contract. But let's say Foot Locker just decides that I'm going to put 25% of my inventory in my brick and mortar stores. And I'm going to let those go on these raffles to create this level of scarcity. And then the other 75%, I am going to give them to GOAT to sell on the resale market, because as GOAT begins to become successful, so do I. I am an investor if I'm Foot Locker. My $100 million, I want to see it flip 10 times over. I want to see GOAT go public. I want to see GOAT get publicly traded and continue to go, and my $100 million and my ability to feed this machine to grow. So when you on the other side and you taking L's, stop blaming West Coast Joe for everything. He getting it how we trying to get it. He got a bot. If that's gonna be your biggest competition, then we can all survive the bots. But when they backdooring pairs on with the executive side, then you got something for real to worry about. We always get caught up in fighting each other because we know each other. That's who we can see. But the people really manipulating this game are the people that live on like almost another dimension than we do in this game. So my game for you today is, don't get caught up on what you can see. Give yourself the opportunity to open up and see something going on. Now, this Foot Locker news is not new. I am not breaking news. Like I said, I'm just getting back in and I'm learning stuff as we go. I'm the cat who threw away 30 pairs of dead stock Jordans because most of them dry rotted to the point of unwearable. You know what I'm saying? So you may not want to take my word for it, but what you do want to take my word for it is, don't let yourself get played in this game. Know that it's not just bots that you're dealing with. Know that this game got puppet masters that's controlling it. So you have to decide how you're going to play this. You're going to have to decide. Young Goob the God, we're going to be talking about the game. Let's take a look at some of the releases that are coming out this week. First of all, we have the Air Jordan 3 Georgetown, aka Midnight Navy, whatever you want to call them joints. I'm really looking forward to these. I lost my True Blue 3s, my Mocha 3s, all in the purge. So I have to really get my 3 collection back together. So I'm glad these are coming out. It's looking like the leather is going to be pretty tumbled on these. I've seen some pictures, some pretty good pictures of these. So the leather quality is going to be good. That snake or that elephant skin print on the toe box of that shoe is always dope. 3s have a little bit more of a bulk to them. So some people may not like them as much as others. On my hand, I love 3s. You know what I'm saying? So these will definitely make their way to the closet one way or the other. Hopefully we can hit on them things in the sneakers app, because we are definitely not going to the resale market. So. And on March 27th, we have those 5s coming out. Those white and stealth 5s with the black and the whatever else they got on. I think it's a Hyper Royal. Them joints is hard. Look pretty clean. I never have really had that many pair of 5s. I think I got a pair of those silk 5s in my storage unit. I haven't been able to find those. There's a few shoes in my storage unit I'm kind of worried about. I haven't seen them in a while. But these are definitely going to be a cop. I've seen some pictures of them. I've seen some people who had them in hand. I've seen the videos of people who had them in hand. So they look pretty clean. They look like the leather's going to be nice. These are definitely going to be a cop. We're rebuilding the collection. We're not copping everything that comes out. You know what I'm saying? We do got some old school copping to do, but these probably gonna make it to the collection. See, put them through the ratings, see how they go. You know what I'm saying? The last release that may be getting pushed back or may not be getting pushed back is the Jordan 1 Fresh Mint. This shoe, I believe, has something special to it. You're probably going to be able to change the colors of it. I've seen different pictures of it. I could be wrong, but it looks like you're going to be able to do something with some of the fabrics. If you can, then this shoe is going to be pretty dope. I like the pictures I've seen make me feel like this is one of those ones that if you don't have them or if you don't get them, then you're going to be like, damn, I should have grabbed those, or maybe I should make an effort to go back and get those. If they're not up your alley, if they're not up your alley, then go ahead and let them go. Give us a chance, you know what I'm saying? But I believe the release date is going to be the 25th. If it gets pushed back, it gets pushed back. It may already get pushed back. I'm not an insider. I'm using the website. I'm using the internet just like everybody else. But they might be coming. Thank you for coming through, chopping it up. This has been another episode of the Sneaker Hunter. This is the game where we drop game on you, sneaker releases, sneaker news, and all the craziness that's going on in this sneaker game, because it is a game. Play it how you play it. If you have liked what you saw, hit that like button, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell, the whole trilogy, finesse them all. Join the team. Marley Minded TV, Young Goob to God, I am the Sneaker Hunter and your fitness guru. Stay tuned for everything that we're doing over here, and as we leave you all the time, be easy.